Good February morning to the good people of Peabody, Linfield, and North Reading, Massachusetts. I'm back on the call once again. It's Bernie, your favorite Peabody TV announcer, bringing you live game time coverage as the Peabody, Linfield, North Reading Tanners take on their crosstown rival, the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders, in the now 35th annual Carlin Cup, also the 6th annual for the women's hockey teams here at McVan O'Keefe Arena. More or less a neutral site because both teams share this as their home rink. Tanners coming into this game riding high, 14-3-1. Yes, you heard that correctly. They are looking this morning to equal their team record for wins in a single season with 15 if they come out victorious today. Their 15-win season coming in the 2018-19 year that saw them go a total of 17-5-2. That is including the postseason. Bishop Fenwick, on the other hand, the record can be very deceiving when it comes to describing the Crusaders. 7-8-2. Yes, it is a losing record at the moment. However, they are on the fringes of playoff contention, and they also are a team that has played against a very good schedule of opponents. Also, they play in the top-heavy Catholic Central League Conference. As I'm going to head over to the announcer table now, overlooking the ice, just above ice side here, as the teams have taken the ice. Tanners in white and blue, Fenwick in their Boston Bruin black and gold uniforms, as they are the away team. Both teams alternate every year. This is the first cup game that we are playing since the year 2020, as the onset of the pandemic ended up canceling the 2021 edition of the game, as teams were limited to only in-conference play. Back to the two teams. Let's start with the Crusaders of Bishop Fenwick. Last game they played 3-1 against CCL rival Madanon on Essex Sports Center ice. Excuse me for the stuttering, folks. It is early, so do bear with me. And also, this is the first game I have announced all season in quite some time, too. So it's good to be back up here with the announcer headset. This is the sport that I started out announcing when I started at PTV in December 2017, and it's a team that I'm most associated with throughout the city. Fenwick on the year, goals for 49, goals against 47. However, despite the fact that there's a 2-goal differential between the two, they are loaded with a roster of playmakers. Players like Catherine Salvo, Emma Perry, Abby Millman. We got Zoe Elwell, Grace Morey, Maddie Fullerton, Abby Bruner, Lauren Duranian on the back end. I mean, the list goes on and on and on about the number of players that could have an impact each night in and night out for the black and gold. Down the other end of the ice for Peabody, they are coming off of a 6-1 win at NEC rival Medford Malden, and that game featured the first career hat trick for Penelope, or Penny Speck, of the Tanners, number 19. Not very often you see a defenseman get a hat trick, shades of Bobby Orr era hockey, when defensemen were expected to score goals. Speck has scored more goals in that game than she has in, I believe, each of the last 2 seasons. Freshman year, she was listed as a forward, didn't play much at all. Her sophomore year, she got moved back to defense, scored a couple goals. And then this season, she's now up to 5 on the year, scored 2 earlier this season on the road at Masco. Actually, I think she might be up to 6 or 7 at the moment, now that I think of it. I was in attendance for a few games where I believe she scored a couple. Goals for, 80. Goals against, 26. Sound defensive play and explosive offense are the tale of the Tanners this season. This is a season that many expected the Tanners to regress, but then again, what's new? Every season, it seems like fans and pundits alike have expected the Tanners to regress greatly. They lost a great deal of their seniors last season, players who were partially responsible for the rebuild of this program, starting back when Michelle Roach was hired 6 or 7 years ago. And they helped bring this program back to prominence, have one of the best winning percentages in the state of Massachusetts, and they are currently, if I'm not mistaken, ranked top 10 in some of the rankings, but depends on the rankings that you find. I mean, you try to lecture me on the rankings, please. There's My Hockey Live rankings, there's Hockey Night in Boston rankings, then there's the MIA rankings, there's the Boston Globe rankings, and they're all different in some way, shape, or form. But the most consistent one shows the Tanners are currently one of the top 10 teams in the state of Division I hockey, Massachusetts. They are faced off with Winthrop High School, however, in their own conference, being in that top 5 discussion. They are currently undefeated and will play against Belmont, a sure challenge later this afternoon. It's been a very, very sound season for the Tanners in many facets. However, there are some flaws that they have had to work on in order to stay in games this season so far. Keys to the game for the Peabody Tanners, as we mentioned that, discipline. They have been a team that has taken a few more penalties than they're used to taking this season. Usually a very disciplined, tight team. They don't go to the box very often. Well, that's kind of been different here. And then we get to puck movement. This Bishop Fenwick team, talented as they are, likes to use the body to throw their opponents off. So that means you got to get the puck on the blade of your stick and get it out as quick as you can. Also, and if they do draw penalties and get power plays, that power play percentage has to be pretty low at the moment. I've seen them get some games where they have a lot of power play chances and just cannot connect. I think earlier this season they played Winthrop here on home ice. I believe there were at least 18 penalties called, and I think the majority were on Winthrop, and the Tanners connected only once on the power play. So that is something Roach really needs to work on with her team going into especially postseason play, as after this, Peabody only has one game left. They will play here against Haverhill, Pentucket, North Andover, otherwise known as HPNA on home ice, a typical end-of-season game in recent years. And then they'll be going into Division I postseason play, where it can be cutthroat, especially when it's very top-heavy as it is this year. As for Bishop Fenwick, I'll pause in a moment because the buzzer's about to go. Their key is to neutralize the Tanners' playmakers. This team is loaded with goal scorers and snipers as buzzer. And back to it. The Tanners, playmakers, players to highlight: Jenna DiNapoli, Katie Campersall, the returning players. Penny Spack has turned into a heck of a player recently, but the freshman addition of Sarah Powers has proven to be the X factor for the Peabody Tanners, as we'll get to that in just a few moments, as we're about to get to the national anthem and player introductions. This game brought to you live by Peabody Access TV. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in, and especially to the fans that have made their way towards the game, who will likely watch this broadcast later after it has been uploaded. I'm Bernard Parisi with Peabody TV, and we're going to go to pregame introductions in just a second.
North Hockey and today's 35th annual Carlin Cup versus the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders. Charlie Carlin is considered the father of Peabody hockey, and this annual crosstown game was started by his nephew, legendary Bishop Fenwick hockey coach Bo Tierney, and others. The spirit of Bo and his Uncle Charlie are what makes today's event so special. Please welcome the starting lineup for the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders. Right wing number 37, Lauren Duranian. Left wing number 4, Lily Pregent. Center number 5, Penny Levine-Stein. Defense number 14, Madison Faraji. Defense number 2, Catherine Salvo. And in goal, number 40, Ella Tucker. Head coach John Castle, assistants Bill Corley, Stephanie Champa, Lindsay O'Connell, and Eric Gagere. Please welcome the rest of the the Bishop Fenwick High School hockey team. Now, please join me in welcoming your Peabody, Linfield, North Reading, Tanner starting lineup. Right wing number 12, Shirley Whitmore. Left wing number 14, Hannah Grumko. Center number 23, Ava Buckley. Defense number 19, Penelope Spack. Defense number 21, Chloe Grumko. And in goal, number 1, Audrey Buckley. Head coach Michelle Roach, assistant coaches Amanda Donahoe and Stephen Roach. Please welcome the rest of the Peabody Linfield Northwest Reading hockey team and the Peabody High School hockey cheerleaders. As we honor all our military veterans, along with the men and women of our active military personnel around the world, please rise for the singing of our national anthem performed this morning by the Peabody High School hockey cheerleaders.
Stripes and bright stars
Absolutely beautiful rendition of the anthem by the Peabody Veterans Memorial High School hockey cheer team. I knew that it was kind of haphazardly thrown together at the last minute. They didn't have an anthem singer. The PA announcer here at Peabody High School's rink, McVan O'Keefe, he was able to get them to do the anthem at the last minute, and they delivered. It's a song that always kind of gets me mumbling it to myself whenever it plays because, many friends that join the armed forces, and it has several family members who serve extended periods in the armed forces as well. So always beautiful to hear such a great rendition of the anthem. But back to hockey at hand. It's a wonderful February morning, not too cold outside, folks. So come on down to McVan O'Keefe and enjoy the game. We are ready to go here in Peabody, Massachusetts, the annual Cup game. For some of these Tanners, this is their first, some of the Tanner Stars, this is their first taste of Carlin Cup action, getting either playing significant time or really their first chance to get to play in a game. Last season's freshmen did not get to play in the game because of the cancellation due to the pandemic's in-conference play. As the Lions have taken the ice, Duranian, Levine, Pregen, Faraghi, Salvo are the starting five. Whitmore, Ava Buckley, Gromko, Spack, and Chloe Gromko are the five for the Tanners, with Lawson and Audrey Buckley staring each other down. We are underway at McVan. Tanners with the first play to make. Spack tries to flip it up the boards, blocked in by Fenwick, but the Tanners chip it back down the length of the ice. Will it go for icing? No, it will not. It is waved off. Gromko races over to the corner. Takes a body over there. That was Gromko laying the body on Lily Pregent, number 4. So I have the players' names for Fenwick down. I just don't know the numbers, so it might sound a little delayed, some of my answers as to who they are. As this one's kept in onside by Chloe Gromko, sister of Tanner Jr. Hannah Gromko in her freshman year, and she has delivered in grand style. She is a very sound and solid defensive prospect. Not bad for a first-year player, and a team loaded with freshman talent that have all stepped into massive roles early on. Chipped off the boards down low is Grace Morey, but it's stolen away by Sarah Powers, the ever-impressive freshman from Linfield. Deke around, Kempersall with a couple dekes. She looks, dumps it into the zone. DiNapoli races in to get it, but it's chipped back out there by Morey. Morey feeds it up ice to... couldn't quite see the number here. Powers puts on the move. Sarah Powers, she can take it end-to-end herself, or she can dish it off to her teammates. She can do it all, trying to stick it out of the air, but it goes back out to the neutral, dumped in and out by Grace Morey. As this one's chipped off the glass and down the ice, and icing is waved off. Lawson was looking for it, will not get it. DiNapoli racing in after the puck. A gritty, shifty little forward. Powers steals. Powers dekes. Down into the corner. Campersall, stick raised, calling for it, but it's stolen away by Penny Levine. I knew that there was another. She had a hyphenated last name, I believe, mentioned by the PA announcer, but on the roster online it was mentioned as Penny Levine, so I apologize to any of her family that are listening. I will continue to mention her by that name until someone gives me the correct spelling of the hyphenated name, as we bring it back down ice. On the icing by the Crusaders. On the draw for the Tanners is Alexa Pepper, number 9, another freshman. You can hear a lot of those in the lineup. Vanessa Steinmeier out with Ella Chase. Steinmeier into the corner, chips it up to Pepper. A shot wide of the post. Lawson with great positioning on it. Or excuse me, no, that's not Sedona Lawson. That's Ella Tucker, number 40 in net. So that's a little bit of a change of pace. I've seen Lawson start most of the games that I've been to that Fenwick played in this year. Lawson was the starter, so it is Ella Tucker. So I apologize to anyone listening at home, as Duranian race with the puck to get it. Chloe Gromko, Lauren Duranian, a veteran of the Cup games, also a very gritty player. These Crusader players are loaded with talent. They just got to make it all come together this early morning, as they have not been able to against Peabody as of late. Deke, through, shot, wide of the post, nope, sticked away. Emma Perry on the initial shot, and Audrey Buckley with sound positioning. Flip from up high, blocked off the skate of Alexa Pepper into the corner. The puck is thrown to the front of the net, and it will not go. Up high, looking, shot through a screen. Buckley has it under the glove. So now the Crusaders starting to put pressure on. We know that they are fired up, because if you know the history of this game, I believe Fenwick, when these two teams play the Cup game the last 5 years, they have not won a single game against the Tanners so far. They are looking to change that because they will have a lot of players graduating. And they want to end their career against Peabody on a high note. Also, they need crucial points if they want a chance to get into postseason play. They are ranked, I believe, in one of the power rankings as a higher ranked team than Peabody has. Here comes Powers. Nope, that's Campy to the slot. Has it knocked off her stick by Elwell, and she is frustrated by the Crusader defenseman. Do not be surprised if you see this game get a little bit chippy, because that is historically how it's gone. Stolen, middle, backhander, looking, knocked off the stick, and she takes the tumble. It was Catherine Salvo, I believe, in the slot. Nope, excuse me, that was Penny Levine in the slot. Duranian down low behind the net, looking for a player in front. Dishes it to the front of the net. Campersall was the only stick waiting. Campy is showing her frustration as she slaps the stick. Duranian lays into Catherine Sweeney. Those are the two players that you will likely see go toe-to-toe at some point this afternoon. Or, excuse me, this morning. I am not used to morning hockey games, as we are on February break, hence why that this game is being played at 11 a.m. Usually we have the men's game after this, but we'll get into that in just a moment. Chipped off the boards down low as Buckley, that is number 5, Leah Buckley, one of the two twin sisters on the team as freshmen, Leah and Ava Buckley. Not related to Audrey Buckley, however, as Audrey from North Reading, Leah, the Buckley's from Peabody. Backhander across the crease, and it wouldn't go. Powers along the boards, tied up. Fenwick trying to get it out. Powers taking her time, moves it through center ice, across the ice. Looking, shot, save made. Ella Tucker off the toe of the pad. Ella Tucker with the save of the period to this point. Very few shots have been made by either squad. 10:06 left to go in the first period of this late season critical game for both teams. Chipped up to center ice, that is Grace Morey. Morey dumps it in on the backhand, and the Tanners go back down to chase. Gromko, DiNapoli. I believe Shirley Whitmore is out. Gromko, DiNapoli looking, chips it up the wall. DiNapoli crossing 50 career points this season, flipped into the middle. Powers looking, Powers! They're keying on her. We'll get into why in a moment. Multiple players on the Tanners sensation. Flipped into the middle. Oh, race for the puck. She's got a break. Looking, shoots, and save made by Buckley. Oh my goodness, Jenna Oliver with a breakaway for the Crusaders, but it would not go. Excuse me if my voice cracks. It's been a while since I've announced the game, so still trying to get back into the swing of it. Spack, stick handles, but lost it. Back down into her own zone. Ella Chase along the boards with Alexa Pepper on the ice with Shirley Whitmore. Spack is out with, I believe, Chloe Gromko. Chipped off the boards. Tanner's just trying to get it out of the zone because the ice is starting to tilt towards the Crusaders in the last few minutes of this period. 8:44 to go. Down the length of the ice, Tucker does not glove it underneath and will stick it up ice. Good play by the young goaltender for the Crusaders, the future of the position. Deeks, shot, blocked in the skates of Catherine Sweeney, the senior captain of the Tanners. Icing is waved off. And Tucker does not seem to be aware of this, as the referee was signaling no icing, and she still had her arm raised, waiting for it. Duranian brings it up through the ice. Duranian to the middle, looking in the middle, and Penny Levine could not get the shot away. Here comes Ella Chase. Chase, great third line forward for the Tanners towards the side, and that's number 23. I believe that's Ava Buckley, who has centered the starting line for the Tanners this season, or this game, excuse me. Fenwick taking their time. Faraghi lost it, gives over to Salvo. Flips down the length, and we're going to get an icing. So the Tanners are loaded with freshmen that have really contributed in tremendous ways this season so far, and some of the most talented young players I've seen. Players like the Buckleys. We got Vanessa Steinmeier, Shirley Whitmore. That girl goes under the radar more than she should. She's an outstanding young hockey player. But the cream of the crop is really Sarah Powers, number 10, leading the region, I believe the NEC, in goals, assists, and points as a freshman. Speaking of, she is being keyed on by this physical defensive core. Black and gold, physical, like the Boston Bruins, like the colors they wear. Off the boards, nearly goes into the bench area, and that's Whitmore flips it in. Powers can't control it, but here comes Elwell. Deeks flips it in just so they can get the puck in deep. It's pucks in deep right now. Both teams struggling to enter the zone and sustain pressure. That is a near tripping call, not going to get it. As DiNapoli blocks a shot and takes a spinning tumble down to the ice. Not a penalty from my view. Powers, Deeks has the stick lifted, chipped off the glass. Whenever Powers, the puck even goes near her, there's like 2 or 3 Crusaders around her at any given time. They're leaving other players open on the ice just so that they can cover her up. Flip towards the front and nothing there. Here comes Powers, who will dump it off the boards. And that was Whitmore, who was not quite over the line. And we're going to get an icing on the Tanners. They'll bring it back down towards Buckley. So Sarah Powers, I've been to quite a few games this season for the blue and white, and I gotta say, I've been covering high school games for the past 5 years, and she may very well be the best freshman hockey player that I have witnessed in that time span. Outstandingly gifted player, great puck handling, puck movement, great shot, and went wide of the net. Buckley keeps her cage. Flipped up in the middle, backhand kept in, barely kept in onside by Madison Faraghi. Probably related to Mike Faraghi, who is the one of the captains of the Bishop Fenwick men's hockey team. And a tie-up. Gromko is not taking anything from anyone today. Chipped off, kept in onside by Gromko. Gives it down low to Campersall. Campy moves, looks into the middle. He just got to get a shot. Backhanded towards the front of the net. A mad scrum, and it goes wide of the post. My goodness, that could have been a 1-0 game for the Tanners. They just couldn't, for the life of them, get a stick on it. Gromko brings it. Deeks around the defense, brings it back in. Fed it across. Can't be a shot. No, trying to go on net, it wouldn't go. Tucker has to go down. She does. Kept in. Spack a shot. Blocked in front by Emma Perry. Perry chips it off the boards near her own bench. Up ice. Here they come. Shot off the stick of Audrey Buckley. So many Buckleys on the ice, I got to keep track of them. Oh, here comes Powers. No, that is Vanessa Steinmeier. Steinmeier gives it back, and it goes back into the neutral. That's Leah Buckley, number 5, gives to Catherine Sweeney. Sweeney looking, chips it off the red line and in. No icing there. It's hard to tell a couple of these freshmen apart because they wear, for the most part, the same gear. In terms of gloves and the jersey tucks, and Buckley shot, knocks a stick out of a hand of Maury, taking the body along the boards, and Roach wants a call for cross-check, won't get it, and she might have had a case there. Powers is on the ice with Steinmeier, and I believe that is Pepper. So, a lot of line juggling already for the Tanners compared to what we've seen. Powers with all the room she wants. Has to put on a move. She does. Tripped. That is not, how is that not a call? And yes, we finally get one. And, there should have been a call there. Yeah, that's a 2-minute call for tripping, but it's the fact that the official, who was standing literally 5 feet away, right in front of her, kept his arm down, and it was the official all the way back up ice at the red line that actually put his arm up. So, there has been an official shortage this season in the state of Massachusetts, so I don't want to say it's been watered down officiating, but it certainly hasn't been up to par as the power play goes to work. Stolen. Gromko takes a tumble. Just trying to ice it, and they do. So the Tanners have to race back and regroup. The power play consists of Penny Spack and Chloe Gromko on defense. Sarah Powers, Hannah Gromko, and Jenna DiNapoli are the forwards. Stolen. Here come the Tanners, and they get it out. Gromko racing with Powers with their shot way high and over the net. Tucker bats it away. Powers looks into the middle, but DiNapoli overskated it. It goes back down the length of the ice, and no icing, obviously, as they are shorthanded, so that counts as a clear. Giving up ice. Penny Spack, very good defenseman who was really coming to her own this season. Giving a cross into Napoli. That pass has to be tape to tape, and it's got to be with some steam on it. 1:08 left on the power play with 3:05 left to go in the first. No score to report yet from McVan O'Keefe. But that is liable to change at any moment with these two teams. Up ice. Powers lets it get away. I'm hoping that in the intermission we can hopefully talk to a couple parents, hopefully. And one I want to talk to is the mother of Sarah Powers. Talk about her daughter's progress this season. We'll see what we can do this intermission. We might bring back Bernie in the stands, which was a little thing we did last time there was playoffs here at McVan O'Keefe before the pandemic hit. Powers and Campy imposing their will on the against the wall. Flipped up ice. And, they narrowly avoided a potential too many men on the ice penalty there. Up ice. Powers, nice pass. Up ice. Sarah. Deeks. Lost it. Campy. Twirling. Looking. Shooting. Save made. Rebound. Another save. Ella Tucker. Kept in onside again. Buckley with a shot. Wide in the net. Power play is over. Racing out of the box is Morey. Duranian and Whitmore along the boards. Duranian, a very physically imposing player whenever she steps on the ice. Into the zone they step. Down low. Nothing there. Sweeney. Chipped to Whitmore. Whitmore up ice. Can't be. Will she dump it or will she take it? She will take it. Campersall. Green light to go. Deeks through. Shot and it went wide. Another wraparound attempt and she lost it off her own stick. Allie Sprisler gives it up, and now here comes Morey on the pass from Levine. 1:24 to go in the first period of this late season match for the Crusaders and Peabody Tanners. Salvo looks, their captain, Salvo looking. Deeks has it stolen away, or blocked away by Powers, and it's wristed back in by Morey as she has Faraghy on her. No, excuse me, that is Abby Bruner. That's the number I've been trying to point out. Last minute in the period. Powers looks. Powers Deeks to the outside. Just trying to find open ice. No hook. Should have been a hooking call there, and we are going to get one. We're going to get a call of some kind, I believe. Ref's arm was up. And it appears not. So never mind what I said. DiNapoli, Powers, Gromko and Spacker on the line for the Tanners. Powers looks, lost it behind her own skates. Powers kept in onside. No, Duranian with a one-on-one with Spack. Spack slow-footed to get back. Duranian around, backhander. What a save made by Buckley! My goodness, what a toe pad save. 27 to go in the first. Gromko around behind, maybe just trying to kill the rest of the clock as Fenwick is deep in the zone. Off the boards, Powers will race for a change as the official signals offside on Fenwick. 12 seconds left in the first. Gromko will, seems like she's content with just eating the rest of the clock. 5 seconds left to go, and we will go to the second period with no score to report from McVan O'Keefe. So it has been an up and down period for both teams on both benches so far. I mean, I can't really say that one team has thoroughly dominated. I would give the edge so far to Bishop Fenwick, to be honest, because they, for the most part, got the puck deep into the Tanners zone. They were able to sustain pressure, very few shots to show for it. Teams, I'm guessing, I think are both pretty equal in shots at the moment. They are playing very sound hockey with the exception of one penalty, but that is likely to change as we get later into a game. You get late into a game, there's no score, players start to kind of get a little on edge, and you might see some more chippiness than you're used to seeing at a women's hockey game. But with that said, we're going to go to the first intermission from McVan O'Keefe Arena. We might have an addition of Bernie in the stands. We get a camera, we get a mic, we go out, we talk to some of the fans live on TV. We kind of put them on the spot. They don't like it, but hey, it makes for great content sometimes. I'm Bernie Parisi, Peabody TV. Thank you for tuning in for the first period. Do come back in just a few minutes for second period action of the Carlin Cup between Peabody, Linfield, North Reading, and Bishop Fenwick, a crosstown rivalry.
DC Rental has been in business for almost 30 years. offering state-of-the-art radio communications and security camera systems. DC Rentals is able to cater our system, scale it down to any size event, large or small. Our custom-built trailers are designed for fast deployment with full video and communication capabilities. We offer top-of-the-line Motorola and High-Terra dispatch and radio equipment, along with Telex and Zetron consoles. DC Rentals Mobile Command Trailer is also available for special events or emergencies. In addition, we provide individual and group training sessions on all of our equipment, as well as 24-hour customer service. DC Rentals can be reached at 781-289-3000 or on the internet at dcrentals.net. DC Rentals is a proud sponsor of Peabody TV.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah?
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be? Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
What's he
Hey,
doing
it's
here?
Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you
Told me to
said,
make it big.
no, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger, the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Smokey's done it again.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day. He's an incredible companion and my best friend.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns, like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's going to be cool.
When I retired from the Navy, I found myself on a void in my life that had been filled by the people that I served with. Tommy really brought an important factor to my life. I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
We discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure,
Pure love.
love.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September. I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I am a 16-year-old boy who just got my first job to help feed my little sisters. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Kids!
I don't want to talk about it.
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 Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency.
Kids, you all right?
This family's prepared. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
It's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
See that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
For the long-awaited return of one of my personal favorite segments, we call it Bernie in the... Oh. So I'm here with number 19 of the Peabody Tanners, Penny Spack's mother, Miss Constance Spack, for another edition of Bernie in the Stands, brought to you by Peabody TV, one of my personal favorite bits. So she's coming off of arguably the best game that she's had this season, and it's extremely rare that you see a defenseman score a hat trick, especially. What was it like being there in person, getting to see your daughter's, her dream come to fruition?
Yeah, and it really was her dream come to fruition. I took my hat off, and it hit the netting on the top because I realized it had gone in. So she's never scored a hat trick before. She played a little forward on her off season, and obviously she's a defenseman. She has been since she was a squirt. So she's just very happy, like glowing happy.
This season, she's really come into her own. Obviously, she didn't play her freshman year because she was listed as a forward. She moved back to her natural position last year, scored a couple goals. But this season, she's really emerged as a defensive force, not only for the Tanners, but in the entire NEC. What has that been like watching her progress?
You know what? It's just, as a mom, it's like it's always something I've known she's had, and it's nice to see her come into her own and really embrace it. I'm just very, very happy for her that she's comfortable in her skates, comfortable in her skin, and she's really owning it this year. So she came in a little injured, so it was a little rough start to the season, and she's really stepping it up. I'm very, very happy for her.
So that was Miss Constance Spack, the mother of Peabody Tanner Jr. Penny Spack. We're going to head upstairs to the announcer's booth because it appears both teams are about to come on the ice, and we'll be right back with second period action of Peabody versus Bishop Fenwick in just a moment.
Thank you,
DC Rental has been in business for almost 30 years, offering state-of-the-art radio communications and security camera systems. DC Rentals is able to cater our system, scale it down to any size event, large or small. Our custom-built trailers are designed for fast deployment with full video and communication capabilities. We offer top-of-the-line Motorola and High-Terra dispatch and radio equipment, along with Telex and Zetron consoles. DC Rentals mobile command trailer is also available for special events or emergencies. In addition, we provide individual and group training sessions on all of our equipment, as well as 24-hour customer service. DC Rentals can be reached at 781-289-3000 or on the internet at dcrentals.net. DC Rentals is a proud sponsor of Peabody TV.
Observe a domesticated human family in their natural habitat, known to their species as the backyard.
Hey, you think I should light it now?
I think it's good.
Yeah?
Oh dear, someone is about to burn a pile of debris that's too tall, which can start a wildfire. Wait, could it be Blimey, it is.
It's Smokey.
It's Smokey Bear. What a legend.
Hey, it's Smokey. Sorry, it was too high. Right.
Watch as he astutely ensures that there's no wind, and how he removes some of the debris to create a smaller, safer burning pile.
No, you said make it bigger, baby. The bigger the better.
Take note of our fearless furry friend here, humans.
I appreciate it. Fist bump.
Watching you.
Welcome back. It's the second period from McVan O'Keefe as puck is dropped. We're underway. Kind of a quick start there. As that's Buckley chipping it up ice. New defensive pair to start the second period. It's Sweeney and Buckley starting. Duranian steals, slap shot. It goes wide of the net. Teams have flipped ends of the ice. Buckley now down closest to this announcer's perch. Ella Tucker down the other end. Duranian, a lot of quick passing, long up ice passes for the Crusaders to start the period. Here comes Powers, looking, Powers, Deeks, dangles to the outside, lost it, DiNapoli races in, can't get her stick on it. Here comes Levine feeds it up ice, into the zone they come. Here comes the Crusaders as Sweeney gives her a little bit of a shove and a tumble down to the ice. No call coming up there on Peabody. These games are so pivotal to the Northeastern Conference standings. Belmont and Winthrop play later. Winthrop, the NEC rival. It was a predicted dogfight for first place, and we certainly have that. The teams, Winthrop beating them in the second game, and they tied earlier this season here on home ice. Stolen by Camper. Salu puts on the moves. Campy lost it in the stick of a Crusader. She had a wide open lane to the net. Backhanded across. Here comes Fenwick looking, trying to keep away with the Tanners. Gromko sliding slap shot to keep it in play. Brought back in. Shot off the glove. Save. Rebound. Another save. Ella Tucker. Great awareness. Zeroing in on the puck and not letting a thing go by. Oh my, this girl is going to be a very good goaltender when she continues to develop throughout her Fenwick career. Chipped in along the ice, looked for a second like it was coming up here. Spack, hard to knock her off the puck. She is one of the taller players in the league. She is very hard to body off the puck. She is very much reminiscent of Carolyn Garofoli for some of those Tanner fans that remember her during her time with the Peabody Linfield North Reading hockey program. Gromko chips it up. Too far for the stick of Shirley Whitmore, or that's Ella Chase, as this one's dumped off the boards towards the other side of the ice. Steinmeier racing in with Chase and Sweeney, and this one will go the length of the ice. However, it was touched, so no icing. Leah Buckley has to win the race if she wants to keep a goal from being scored. She sure enough does. Buckley spins, puts on the moves, feeds it back to Chase. Kept in by the Crusaders towards the front of the net, and Buckley will just glove it underneath for a stoppage at 12:08. Or the clock here in McVan showing 12:09. On your screen says 12:08. 1 second difference. It's okay. Oh, we got it fixed. Way to go, guys. So the production crew out in the van right now. We've got Steve Valenti, the guy who helped set this all up. Don Murphy, Aaron O'Brien out there operating the production and the sound. They do a tremendous job every time we do a spore. Sweeney bodies her off the puck. Catherine Sweeney doing what she has done best for the last 4 years of her career. Being that physical presence that every team needs at least one of. Chipped out. No, kept in onside. Shot off the chest of Jenna DiNapoli. Race with Bruner to get it. Bruner and Maury over. Into the middle. Oh, here they come. Backhander towards the front, and Buckley uses the stick to poke it away. Sweeney with DiNapoli, Leah Buckley, Sarah Powers, and Shirley Whitmore. Powers spins, bodied off the puck. They are not taking any of her business today. Powers takes a tumble, slides up ice, gets up. Here comes Abby Bruner. Bruner bodied off the puck along the boards. Bruner goes to the bench for a change as the line has completely changed up. Taking a tumble is a Tanner into the boards. That physicality of Bishop Fenwick is really starting to leave their mark on the Tanners. Having trouble just gaining any kind of offensive zone pressure. Whitmore with Powers. Whitmore and Powers along the boards, trying to get it out for, I believe that's going to be Pepper at center ice. Nope, that is Ava Buckley. Ava Buckley, number 23. Leah, number 5. Shot into the glove of Audrey Buckley. So we see a lot of the Fenwick and Peabody faithful starting to make their way into the rink. It's going to be a pretty good crowd this early morning. You get to see I believe that is part of the Fenwick fan section down there in the corner. A lot of the men's hockey team for Fenwick have made their way here. They unfortunately will not be playing a cup game this year. Seeing as actually, we'll talk about that at the next stoppage play, but Penny Spack, hat trick in her last game. One of the team's top goal scorers at the moment. Who would have thought you'd hear me saying that about a defenseman? Here comes Ava Buckley with Powers to her, or Campy to her right. Buckley puts on the brakes, looking. Oh, that would have been a sick move if she'd got her stick down. Not kept in onside by Chloe Gromko. It was a little too far behind the blue line. Gromko with Penny Spack. She flips it up to Ava Buckley. Buckley brings it back up ice. Here they come. Gromko and Campy flanking. Buckley, backhander, save made, rebound, poked in front, save Ella Tucker. As we mentioned, starting to mention a moment ago, there will be no men's cup game, at least at the varsity level, because due to shortage of players, and a lot of the players were 8th graders or upcoming freshmen, just very small players, only one senior, just a lack of players. The Peabody Veterans Memorial High School decided not to field a varsity team this year. They decided to put out a JV schedule team. Kept in onside by Chloe Gromko, who remains out with Penny Spack. Flipped up off the boards, tied up. Here comes Campy through center ice, and that one is gloved underneath Ella Tucker as Ella Chase was bearing down on her. So the Tanners starting to get some pressure on the young goaltender for the Crusaders. Sedona Lawson was the veteran of the group. I think John Castle, the coach of the Crusaders, decided to make a tactical decision and go with a different glove in the net as a tactical risk or gamble. And no call coming up here. I think Buckley wanted to break for the bench, but she will not. Down the length of the ice. Sweeney looking. Sweeney quarterback in that power play, but Duranian backhands it towards the net, and it's going to be Sweeney and Duranian the whole early afternoon, folks. I can tell you right off the bat that those two are going to be physical with each other whenever they set foot on the ice, because they know every team has one of those players that can not hit, but I don't want to say hit, but one of those players that makes it known you don't mess with my line mates when I'm out there. And for both teams, that's Sweeney for the Tanners and Duranian for the Crusaders. Buckley through center ice, off the skates of Gromko, so an icing is waved off. Taking a hit is Campersall. Ava Buckley out there. Here's Leah Buckley, a shot, and blocked in front. Not a save, blocked by a defenseman in front. Here comes Fenwick the other way, looking. Shot, gloved by the veteran Buckley. Buck, as they call her in Peabody, Mass, rode the bench for 2 years, only played sparingly in her sophomore year because 6-0 wins that were already in hand for the Tanners, so they decided to give Buckley some playing time, playing behind Abby Buckley at one time and then Jen Collins. And now the Tanners' 2-year starter. And one of the better win percentages in team history, to say the least, actually. Campersall flipped it up ice. No offside. Whitmore. Nope. They get it late offside. Shirley Whitmore. So Buckley has played. She was the unknown X factor coming into last season at least. No one knew what she was going to do. They had Jade Moynihan as the backup, who had played rarely. Started a game last year, actually, and played really well. Not dressed for today's game, but played very well. The dressed backup for today's game is freshman Elise Moody, who has played outstanding. Middle, and Powers can't put it in. Moody has proven to be one of the best goaltending prospects as this one goes into the bench, and Roach has to duck out of the way. That being Michelle Roach, the I believe 6th or 7th year coach of the Peabody Tanners. Also, new news out of the Peabody Athletic Department. Roach will take over the Peabody women's lacrosse program, I believe, this upcoming spring, as a new change of pace at the sidelines here at Coley Leaf Field. So that's an interesting development. Backhanded behind the net. Here comes the Crusaders through center ice, but a pair of bodies on there. That was where Chase and Gromko. Down low, Crusaders through the legs, and Buckley will put it under the glove. She had Perry bearing down on her. To recap the last Crusaders Fenwick, the Crusaders Peabody game, the Carlin Cup played in 2020. That was a 3-2 Tanners victory that went down to the very final seconds. Emma Perry, I believe, cut the lead to 1 with just a few seconds left in the game, but the Crusaders scrambled at the front of the net, could not get it by in the waning moments. Flipped up ice, will go back through the neutral. Not far enough for an icing. Salvo puts on the speed to go behind, and the giveaway in front almost went through. Will they wave it? It will be an icing on Bishop Fenwick. So the Tanners will have a chance to set up in the offensive zone with 7:18 left to go. In the second period, no score to report still. Rather uncharacteristic of these games. We usually see a goal or two by now. The Tanners have at times had trouble scoring goals against, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Against opponents that have a lesser record than them. Teams like Marblehead, Gloucester, they've at times had trouble trying to just put goals on the board. I think recently they played Marblehead here at McVan or in Marblehead's rink, which is Salem State, and they just couldn't get the puck in the net as DiNapoli to the slot, can't get it on net. Back down, here comes Duranian with Buckley back, a shot, ringing the post with the shot! Off the crossbar by Duranian. She had the arms up thinking it went in, I don't think that went. Backhanded on net, sticked wide by Buckley. That was the first real heart-stopping play of the game. Whitmore chipped off the boards, raced to get it, and we get an icing. If she'd waited maybe a second longer, she could have avoided the icing, and that'll bring it back down the other way with a momentous moment in favor of the Crusaders, fresh in their mind. Bishop Fenwick trying to win their first cup game in many years. If anything, I believe the last time when the two teams started playing each other again for the Cup, the Tanners have won it each and every year. Back up high, looking, Salvo. Gives it down low. Salvo will take it again. Catherine Salvo, a shot. Deflected up into the face of Sweeney. Rebound, they can't poke it through. A shot. Another save. Buckley through the screen. My goodness, what a save. Here comes Campersall with a full head of steam. Loses it to the middle of the ice. Ava Buckley. Buckley to Leah Buckley. Buckley chips it off the boards to Campersall, who lost it, had the stick lifted. Momentum in favor of the Crusaders. Race for it, and Bishop Fenwick gets to it first. The black and gold are dominating play. 2-on-1 the other way. Bruner, look, shot off the inside of the pad. Buckley with the save. She thought she had it. Has to scramble back across the crease. Down low, Sweeney with Leah Buckley. Most of their rushes have come against this defensive pairing. Roach has to get them off the ice, give them a break, and get Spack and Gromko out. Sweeney. They are gassed right now. Campy just trying to get it out. They do. Ava Buckley to the outside. Drop pass for Campy. Looking, keeps it in on side. Across, down to low, behind the net they go. Ella Chase in. Chase and Alexa Pepper, the third line is out. Race for it. Chloe Gromko with Penny Spack finally back on the ice. Long toss ahead, and we will get an icing. No, they wave it off saying someone touched it. I don't think that touched anyone, actually. Bodied along the glass, down in the corner. Backhanded, down low. That's Steinmeier. Chase with Steinmeier, cross, can't make anything happen, race to get it. Spack raced in, a slap shot, deflected, and it went wide. Deflected off the stick of a Crusader, may have saved the goal. Wrap around attempt, Tucker against the post, and nothing there. A player gets hit down to the ice. Will we get a penalty? Let's see. Ella Tucker coming through huge, but it is getting chippy with 4:31 left to go in the second period. No penalties coming up here. You start to get the sense that you think the officials would rather swallow their whistles for a game of this importance. You don't want to be the guy that ends up being the deciding factor in a crucial late season game, so guys start to tighten up a little bit. Bruner flipped one on a cross! Wide! And another save made by Audrey Buckley. Oh my goodness! Here comes Powers back the other way, moving. Slot has it, shoots. No, she couldn't get the shot off. DiNapoli, save made, rebound, Tucker, another save. Oh my goodness gracious. Now we're getting intense here. Breakaway, Sweeney races back, shot, save made by Buckley. Oh my goodness, Powers, DiNapoli, and Whitmore are the forwards. Powers loses it. Bringing it back. No call. Nice play to avoid a penalty. Was Powers a shot save? Rebound. Pat against the post. Buckley with another save. Backhanded towards the front, and Audrey Buckley finally. And Duranian and Sweeney are facing off. They want something. And Salvo takes a tumble. They're calling saying that they think Peabody tripped her. The refs weren't watching. I didn't see it myself, but all I saw was a Fenwick player down, and the fans were booing. Oh, man, we have a barn burner here in Peabody, Massachusetts, folks. 3:31 to go in the second period. Duranian and Sweeney, I'm telling you, those two are going to have words before the game is over. Spack is on the ice with Gromko as the D pairing. Ava Buckley with Katie Campersall and Hannah Gromko. Flipped up Buckley. They're sticking with, for the most part, with the lines they started the period with. Kept it onside. Here comes Campy, but she lost it. 3-on-1 forming the other way for the Tanners. Spack, the only D back. It's offside called. And Duranian is venting her frustration. She's not happy. And the men's hockey team of Bishop Fenwick High School is here, and they're venting their frustrations with the officials. Take a look at the Peabody High School hockey cheerleaders, usually here for the men's team, but due to the JV schedule they're playing, they have showed up at, I believe, the majority of the women's games here. Always nice to see, showing their support for the ladies in blue and white. Down to the corner. This game is really starting to get away from the Tanners, should I say. Or dare I say, actually. Powers on her, but Gromko takes it. Spack, behind the net they go. Penny Spack has to get there. Nice stick to get it away. Long reach of Penny Spack, as this one is chipped back down. Excuse me for some of the camera issues. We're having issues with one of our cameras. I do apologize if you get the occasional black screen. We do have 3 cameras set up here, one to my right. As this one's flipped in the middle, Spack has to get it out. We have one across ice from where I am, and we have the 360-degree view robo camera. Whitmore, race to get it. Can't do it. Here comes Fenwick, deking through center ice, puts on the moves, looking, takes a tumble. No call coming back at her. I don't know why people are calling for a penalty there. That looked like a clean play. She fell under her own power. You know me, folks. I tell it as it is. Powers takes it, deking, just to get out of the zone. Sarah Powers looking to find just some room. They get her some room. She can do some damage. A shot, save, rebound, another save. Tucker through the crease, and it wouldn't go. Oh, my goodness gracious. How many times have I uttered those words? A shot off the skate of Sweeney. DiNapoli whiffs, but Reed-Carousing gives it along the boards, up ice. Whitmore and Gromko are with her. Oh, they got to get someone in the middle of the ice to cover that. That could have been a breakaway for the Crusaders. Sweeney takes her out into the boards. Duranian gives her a cross-check from behind. No call coming. Not a hockey play if you're a hockey player out there. I mean, come on. That's not something you want to see. And I know that I'm likely going to get some grief from fans for calling out players for what could be described as questionable play, but like I said, I'm not going to be favoring one team here. I will be impartial. Towards the front, nothing coming there. Shot. Save! Oh, a spread eagle save made by Buckley. 1 minute to go in the period. No score to report from McVan. Up ice. Shot by Campy. Deflected wide. It bounces back out. Gromko, they got to connect on some of these passes. Sweeney, slapper just to get an icing and get a change. Here comes Ava Buckley. Buckley, number 23. Leah, number 5. Both of them are on the ice. So we got 3 Buckleys on the ice. Only 2 of them are related, though. Pass is behind a Crusader. Oh, here's a chance. Crusader shot. I don't know where that one was going. She might have been hit as she let it go. Gromko laying the body just to interfere with the shot. Spack takes a tumble under her own power. 5 seconds left. Just got to get it on that. Deflected by Buckley. Backhanded. And who would have thought that we would go to the third period of this hyped up matchup between 2 crosstown rivals with no score to report yet, and the goaltenders playing absolutely outstanding, playing out of their minds. But the physical, chippy play is going to come back to bite someone. I'm telling you, it's going to get someone before this game is over. It's Sweeney, Duranian going at each other. You got players getting hit. No calls. You got a little bit of everything. The refs have to take control of this game if they want a clean, easy game for both teams. No one gets hurt, because I've seen too many games recently where refs have let games get out of hand and players end up getting hurt. So with that said, we're going to the second intermission from McVan O'Keefe Arena in Peabody, Massachusetts. Shout out to the Fenwick hockey players right over there. They're out in the stands giving me a shout out. See you, boys. Hope you enjoyed the video I made for you recently. We're going to the second intermission as we prepare for the third period from McVan O'Keefe in Peabody, Mass. No score to report, and do not go anywhere. The best is yet to come.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day. He's an incredible companion and my best friend.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns, like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's going to be cool.
When I retired from the Navy, I found myself on a void in my life that had been filled by the people that I served with. Tommy really brought an important factor to my life. I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September. I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I am a 16-year-old boy who just got my first job to help feed my little sisters. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Kids!
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Hey guys, today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. Look. Give kisses. Give kisses. You heard how loud that was.
I know, I
sleep
heard,
through that.
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Bacon.
Welcome back to another edition of Burning in the Stands, our show where we go into the crowd, we talk to some fans, talk to parents. I'm here with Scott Gromko, the parents, or father of Chloe Gromko and Hannah Gromko. Mr. Gromko, what's it like seeing your two girls actually get to play on the ice together at the high school level?
Well, it's kind of like hockey Powerball. We get to come to one game and see them both compete, and they really enjoy playing together. Really enjoy playing for the coaching system, Michelle and Steve and Amanda at PLNR, and it's just really fun to see them out there competing every day with them.
So this season, Hannah's obviously, she's continued how she always produces for the team. She's a very big contributor. Chloe has stepped into a huge role on, they had some holes on defense. Obviously, they needed to fill with Chloe Shapley, Riley Ganter. They left. And she's fit in seamlessly, it seems like. She's already playing like the season pro. So what is it like seeing your youngest daughter play that well, especially this early in her career?
It's really fun to see her get challenged, and this league has helped her step up and rise to the challenges of playing at a higher level. So working with Hannah and working with the coaching staff, I think she's able to see the ice a little better and make quicker decisions, skate the puck, try and hit the open player. So it's been really nice to see her out there.
So that was Scott Gromko, the father of Chloe and Hannah Gromko. I'm Bernie Parisi. We'll be right back with third period action in just a moment.
DC Rental has been in business for almost 30 years, offering state-of-the-art radio communications and security camera systems. DC Rentals is able to cater our system, scale it down to any size event, large or small. Our custom-built trailers are designed for fast deployment with full video and communication capabilities. We offer top-of-the-line Motorola and Hytera dispatch and radio equipment, along with Telex and Zetron consoles. DC Rentals mobile command trailer is also available for special events or emergencies. In addition, we provide individual and group training sessions on all of our equipment, as well as 24-hour customer service. DC Rentals can be reached at 781-289-3000 or on the internet at dcrentals.net. DC Rentals is a proud sponsor of Peabody TV.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and fur. I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
It's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
Welcome back for the ultimate period right here from McVan O'Keefe Arena in Peabody, Massachusetts. Tanners, Crusaders, no score to report. It's getting physical. The goaltenders are playing out of their minds. What is there not to love about this game, folks? It's Massachusetts hockey at its best. Tournament right around the corner, and both teams vying for positioning. Crusaders, I think, just trying to get in at the moment, but the Tanners also have, they surely have their playoff spot locked up by now. Let's take a look down at ice side. Hey, there's former principal Eric Buckley of the high school. It was the principal there when I was at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School. Always just an outstanding leader of the students, someone who we all respected as well. Here for, I believe, he's related to the two Buckleys, Leah and Ava, in some capacity. I believe they're nieces. I'm not sure, but they are related somehow. As both teams are taking the ice again, Ella Tucker returns to the net. Andre Buckley returns to the net. The lines, Buckley, Ava that is, Gromko, Campersall, Sweeney, and Leah Buckley with Duranian, Faraghi, Salvo, Penny Levine, and Lily Pregen. Pregen shot! Oh, she scores right off the draw! Lily Pregen, 1-0! 11 seconds into the third period, it's 1-0 Crusaders lead! Lily Pregen with a snipe over the shoulder of Buckley! And the Crusaders lead it 1-0. We get a line change already for the Tanners. She wants to get that group off. Powers with DiNapoli and Campersall are out, but Lily Pregen, 11 seconds into the third period. It's 1-0 Crusaders. That was a snipe of snipes right there. Campersall dumps it off the boards for Powers. Powers can't get there. Goes back to the zone. They have to regroup and move back on side. Campersall, DiNapoli. Icing is waved off as it lands on the stick of Spack. Spack dumps it off the boards. Gromko. Tanner's playing from behind. Here comes Powers. Powers looking. Powers to the outside. Puts on the brakes. Trying to feed it to the slot. DiNapoli can't get it by. No hooking call coming up there on Maury. DiNapoli looking. Backhands along the boards. Powers with Millman on her. Powers towards the front. DiNapoli, backhander wide of the net. Hooking call coming up. No, what are we going to get? Is it a hook? Is it a stickle? What is it? I think it's a power play for the Tanners. And the call, 2 minutes for a hook. Power play coming up for the Tanners. Catherine Salvo to the box, 2 minutes with 13:54 showing on the scoreboard here at McVan. Got to rewind the clock on our scoreboard here on the screen. It says 13:54 on the scoreboard here. 2 minute power play. So I think we'll just leave the clock at 13:28 until we get to the scoreboard here, gets to it. Back behind, tied up behind is Chloe Gromko. Lily Pregent's goal breaks the 0-0 tie, so the black and golds are in the lead. 13:31 left to go in the third period. Powers along the boards with DiNapoli racing towards the net. Cross, JD, a shot, wide rebound, and Powers couldn't get to it in time. Backhands down low, Gromko looking. Gromko looks, looking, taking her time. Dishes it over to Powers. Powers up high, Chloe looks. Chloe to Spack, Penny, shot, into the stick of, I believe that is number 15, Zoe Elwell. Down the ice, whiffing on the pass briefly is Gromko, fed, and DiNapoli taps it into the zone, but it will go back down the length of the ice. They have cleared it out. 12:50 to go in the period. Tanner's just trying to get offense here. Fenwick looking for a statement win to show they are not done yet. $12:29 left in regulation. If the Tanners can tie the game and we end regulation, we will play overtime. Yes, you heard that correctly. We will play a 5-minute 4-on-4 OT. That is, if necessary. Hearts are pounding throughout McVan O'Keefe. These Fenwick faithful have waited a long time to see a women's hockey victory in the annual Carlin Cup game. Played in name of and in honor of Charlie Carlin, who is aptly titled the father of Peabody hockey. Longtime coach at the high school. Passed away in 1972, but ever since then, we also have his nephew, Bo Tierney, was the coach at Bishop Fenwick High School, so we decided to put together the annual cup game between the two teams for, I guess you could call it intercity bragging rights, because both schools that they play out of are situated in the city of Peabody. Bishop Fenwick is, I believe, near central Peabody, and Peabody High School here in south, or closer to west, actually. Behind the boards, or behind the net, excuse me, is Ava Buckley, talented freshman, and she was holding on to the jersey. Why is there no call there, ref? Come on. Powers through the defense. Powers looking, puts on the move, backhander, and Buckley couldn't get the stick down. It was lifted by maybe Elwell. Back the other way they come is Jenna Oliver. Oliver backhands it down low for Grace Morey. Morey races in with it. Catherine Sweeney takes her time getting to the puck. Flipped up, Powers, chipped to Campersall. Powers maybe trying to go off for a change. Powers, no, here comes Campy. Campy puts on the move. Here comes number 3, Katie Campersall. Can't get the shot away. Rebound, it comes out. A Fenwick player is down, and Campy is down. Let's see what we're going to get here. The net is off its moorings. A Fenwick player went down as well towards the net. I believe it's Duranian, who has taken a lot of hits in her history as a Bishop Fenwick Crusader. One of them here, I believe, a couple years ago against the Tanners. She got sent high into the boards and was actually down on the ice for a little bit, if I remember correctly. No penalties are resulting from this play. Duranian on the draw. Flipped around for Salvo from Faraghi. Salvo chipped off the boards, and doesn't matter if it was kept it onside. It goes back out to the neutral, and Buckley will decide to just glove it underneath. So we're at 10:51 to go, or excuse me, 10:55 showing on the scoreboard here at McVan O'Keefe. One nothing. Crusaders scored 11 seconds into the period for those of you just joining us and broke the tie. Take a look at some of the Peabody youth hockey players down here that have made their way to attendance at this 11 a.m. start time game. I'm a little surprised they kept the game this early. They didn't move it back to later in the day, considering there was no men's JV game later today. Back down the length of the ice. DiNapoli races after it with Zoe Elwell. Elwell puts on the brakes and dishes it back. Powers is waiting for it. Sarah Powers trying to keep her balance with the players like Duranian and Ali Sprisler, number 13. Shot from up high, deflected wide. Sweeney, Tanners, once again failing to generate offense. It's been an unfortunate trademark so far this season. They can put up goals against teams with poor records, but it seems like when they get thrown off with the body, they start to fold a little bit. Powers, and that is an easy offsides call there as Whitmore and I think maybe even Buckley were too deep in the zone. 9:50 left to go in the third period of play from McVan O'Keefe Arena. That's Rose, ladies and gentlemen. She takes photos for local newspapers all the time. I've seen her at most of the games that I've been to this season. Very nice lady. Bruner trying to chip it into the zone. She ends up losing it. It goes back down towards their own bench and into the Fenwick defensive zone. Gromko fed to the middle. Tanners, they like to find open ice or maybe get the dirty goals in front of the net, and they just haven't been able to do that, either of them. They had a quick flurry of shots in the second period from in front of the net, but they just haven't been able to get the puck into open ice areas because the Crusaders are everywhere. That's what they got to do. That seems like it's a go-to strategy for teams that are trying to best opponents for the first time in a long time. They try to play the body and throw them off. Here goes Spack! Spack a shot! Rebound! Shot! Oh, it rifles wide of the net! If that goes a little bit to the left, that's a goal. Spack diving. It's underneath her. Back up high. Or that was Kempersall who took the tumble in front. Penny Spack races back down, and we get an icing on Fenwick. We are under 10 minutes to go. 8:51 separate the Crusaders from their first Carlin Cup in many years, and the Tanners from their first Carlin Cup defeat in many years. Some of the faithful crowd have made their way here. On the draw, DiNapoli wins it back. Powers puts on the move. DiNapoli, a shot, a save, Ella Tucker! Sweeney whips on the shot. Here comes Elwell with Pregent. And the shot is blocked by Leah Buckley into the corner. Deflected, and it went wide of the net. Here come the Tanners back the other way. Nope, stolen away by Elwell. Gotta move the puck quicker than that. Tanner's gotta get it up ice as Powers is keyed on by Duranian again. Duranian's got away with a lot in this game. Pregent to the outside, the goal scorer. 8:07 to go. Too far for Shirley Whitmore. Whitmore's got moves, she's got speed. Offside as the Tanners have to jump back on. Here comes Sprisler. Sprisler, a shot wide. Just got to get it out of the zone and up ice. The power play has not been effective at all today. They've had a couple chances and have not been able to capitalize. Have not been penalized are the Tanners, but they've taken 2 power plays and just unable to connect at all. A tale of the season, to say, unfortunately, for Peabody. Taking it, race to it. Looking just put it on net for a face-off potentially. Can't put it on net. Ella Chase as Salvo puts on the brakes. Racing over is Spack. Spack, big body, Penny Spack towards the slot, and it's sticked out of the air by Fenwick. Spack ties it up, chipped off the boards, down the length of the ice, and we get icing. So the action is starting to pick up, and it's getting more and more physical. Both teams are really starting to get into the swing of the physicality. Duranion's on the face-off. Spack, Gromko, the defensive pair. Hannah Gromko, Ava Buckley. Shot by Spack, blocked into the skate. Oh, Campersall raced to get it. Chloe Gromko down low. Looking for her sister, couldn't do it. And that is the most delayed penalty call I have ever seen in my life. I mean, excuse me for sounding really, heated there, but she took a tumble, the crowd went, what? And then the ref put his arm up. It's like he had to stop and think about it for a second there. Like, you hate to be the official that could affect the outcome of a game, but if this goes wrong for the Tanners, Roach is going to have a few words for whoever this official is. 2-minute penalty for the Tanners. Hannah Gromko to the box on a questionable call. Questionable only for the sense that I didn't see the call itself, but I saw the player go down out of the corner of my eye, and then it took about 2 or 3 seconds for him just to put his arm up. The clear attempt could not get out. Shot blocked by Chloe Gromko. She wants payback for her sister who's in the box. No call there. Yeah, ref, if you want to call there, that's the play you should have called it on. I'm not afraid to call out the officials here, folks. I mean, I'm sure none of us are, actually. We're all hockey fans. We all want to have words with the officials at times. And you know me, I don't mince my words. That's wristed back the length of the ice, and it is no icing, obviously, because it's a penalty kill. Powers floating, looking, waiting with Elwell. Powers lets it go by. Duranion chipped in. Powers is the only player after it. Sarah Powers. This could be a monumental opportunity. A shot right under the pad of Ella Tucker. Get the camera on that, folks. Flipped back out. That could have been the chance right there. Bodied into the boards. Powers playing with some aggression now. 5:14 to go in regulation. 33 seconds of power play time left. Tanner's down by 1. Looking, Elaine to shoot, a shot, save, Buckley, comes back out, the wide open slot, she couldn't do it, Powers in a 2-on-1 with Campersall, this could be it, Powers shoots off the post, hit the post with the shot, Bruner back the other way with only a 1D back, shot, wide and high, power play has come to an end, 4:30 to go in regulation. Powers, Sweeney taking her down along the boards, flipped up. Tanners just have to control. They can get the shots. Cleared back to the neutral. Buckley with Sweeney. Sweeney across. Backhanded in so the lines can change. Powers jumps out. DiNapoli and Buckley are out. DiNapoli. Powers looks. Sweeney lets it go through her legs. Sweeney, blocked shot, trying to backhand it down low. Cleared back out by the Crusaders. But here's Pregen with the burst of speed along the boards. Looking, throws it in front, it wouldn't go. 3:38 to go in regulation. Tanner's down by 1. Goal scored 11 seconds into the period by Lily Pregen. Slapper, wide, down low. Sweeney has to get it up ice as fast as she can. This is a situation the Tanners have been in once before this season. They went down 1-0 to Winthrop at Winthrop, and that was it for the game. Crowd really starting to get into it. Looking, shot. It comes up on Buckley, rebound, it comes out, cleared along the boards. Kept in onside. Slapper from the slot. 2:52 to go in regulation. It's going to come down to the final minutes of play, folks. A barn burner we were promised, and a barn burner we have received. Flipped in by Maury. 2:37 to go. Slapper by Sweeney, just trying to clear it, and it still won't go. Penny Levine along the boards. Taking a tumble is a Tanner. No call again. Shot over the net and wide. 2:20. Thrown towards the front. Tanner's looking for the puck. Salvo. Shot. Blocked. Buckley's still in net. Here come the Tanners. 2-on-2 the other way. Here they come. Looking. Can't be. Bodied off by Salvo. Gromko along the boards. Can't keep it in. Duranian. That's a cross check. No call coming. Oh, come on, Mr. Official. That's a cross check nearly to the head. Powers, she's going to want to take this herself. I'm calling it. Here she comes. Sarah Powers looking. Jets, looks, backhands in front. Oh, and the backhander, where'd it go? Powers with the unbelievable chance. Gromko, slap shot, flutters wide. 1.5 to go. DiNapoli along the boards. Buckley still in net. DiNapoli, they're getting frustrated. Just got to keep it in on sides. They drop back. It's back. Maury, here she comes. Flipped on net. Save Buckley. Comes back out. We're at 1:10 left to go. Oh, Powers, one-on-one. This could be a chance. No, Black backhanded away by Madison Faraghi. Spack, deking through center. Here she comes. Oh, and an offside called on the Tanners. It was obvious. Campy was too deep in the zone. 55.5 seconds to go. And we're going to get a timeout called, I believe, by Peabody. Yes, it is. So, oh my goodness gracious, what a turn of events. In the words of a certain character from The Office, my, how the turntables. Wow, this has been a heck of a game from Peabody, Massachusetts. A complete turn of a pace, a change of pace from the way things have gone in recent years. Tanners usually dominate this game, but Fenwick came in hungry. And they're at 55.5 seconds away from claiming bragging rights for the city of Peabody. So just to break down the game, the Tanners they can't get the puck in front of the net. That's the story of the game right now. Fenwick is using the body to throw people off. For the most part, it's been pretty clean play out of Bishop Fenwick, with the exception of a few instances by a certain player who has been really one of, I know I'm going to get a lot of angry messages probably, but look, I've seen the way these teams have played in the last 4 years, and there's always one character that always seems to be the player that plays a little over the edge, and there's one on both teams. Sometimes Catherine Sweeney plays a little over-aggressive. She's gotten into it with Lauren Duranian a few times this season. She's one of the more penalized players, to be honest, in recent Tanner history, but she's really cleaned up her game this season. A testament to her. But Duranian has also been that physical player for the Bishop Fenwick Crusaders that has gotten away with some questionable plays. I've seen cross-checking to nearly the head. I've seen a few, she exchanges words with Sweeney, which is expected, but there's just a lot of play that the refs have let go. The refs really needed to get control of this game, and I just really don't think they ever have. 45 seconds to go in the game. Empty net at the other end. Tanners have to regroup. 40 seconds to go. Sweeney has to race back, and it's an icing. John Castle, the coach of the Crusaders, is not happy with that icing. He thinks she touched it. 36 ticks to go on the clock. Face-off in the zone. The big line is out for the Tanners. Spack, Gromko, Powers, the other Gromko, Campy, and DiNapoli. Here we go. Face-off won by the Tanners, given back to Spack. Spack chips along the boards. Duranian clears it towards the empty net, and the Crusaders are gonna win the cup in 2022. Lauren Duranian with the length of the ice, empty netter. The curse is over. To their credit, Fenwick came in. They knew what they had to do. They may have pushed the line a little bit, but at the end of the day, they did everything that they needed to do. 28 seconds left in the game. Heartbreaking moment for the Tanners. Now is the time they really need to regroup. Sweeney and Duranian are getting into it. Sweeney's going to go for something there. We knew this was coming. I called it in the second period. And we knew something was going to happen. Duranian has some words for Sweeney. She's going to go too. Matching penalties. I'm telling you, folks, I called this coming earlier in the game. And once again, it's not what you want to see. And to the refs, if you had taken control of the game when you should have, then this wouldn't happen. You never want to see a player get hurt. You never want to see, people going at each other like that, because, it's a detriment to the game. 15 ticks to go. It's been many years since the Crusaders have achieved a cup. It may have been their first ever. 5 seconds left, just trying to get one more shot. Ella Tucker comes through. That'll do it! Crusaders win the cup in 2022! What a game from Peabody's McMahon O'Keefe Arena. The Crusaders come in and dominate their crosstown rival, the Peabody Tanners, on home ice. As we take a look at the celebration on the ice. What an afternoon it has been here in Peabody, Massachusetts. I'll be honest, most if not all the pundits would have said before the game, let's see the trend continue. The Tanners, they thought they were going to be victorious, but sometimes coming in thinking you're going to win is sometimes your downfall. They were confident, maybe to the point of too confident. Ella Tucker, MVP of the game in my eyes. Let's see what they choose for the Crusaders, but she came through in grand style, a landmark win for a young goaltender. She is going to be an outstanding goalie as her career progresses. And could this be the beginning of something new at Fenwick, folks, is what I have to say about them. This is a historic win in their history. They now move to 8-8-2. The Tanners move to 14-4-1. So they will not, at least for this game, equal their single-season win record of 15. If they had won today and won their next game, they would have broken their record for single-season wins. Their record for regular season wins is 15, folks. The overall is 17. That includes a couple playoff games. But with the loss today, they have to win next game just to equal their record and tie it. Bishop Fenwick moves to 8 wins, 8 losses, 2 ties. They get moved to 18 points, and they are on the fringe of playoff contention. They may very well be considered in the contention for it at the moment, despite the points. They play one more game. I forget who it's against, but the Tanners will play here on Wednesday afternoon against HPNA. The goals scored by Bishop Fenwick on the game, those were Lily Pregent, 11 seconds into the third period. That was the eventual game winner. And Lauren Duranian with the length of the ice wrister. And that was all she wrote from McMahon O'Keefe. My overall impression of the game, Fenwick came in. They played physical. They did what they had to do to throw off an explosive offense that had 80 goals to their credit this season. And they neutralized the weapons. Exactly what I said in the pregame. Key to the game for the Fenwick Crusaders, neutralize playmakers. Those be DiNapoli, Campersall, Powers. They neutralized them all. They didn't give them hardly any scoring opportunities. And it's a tight defensive game. As many coaches I've heard say, you play the tight defense, you do what you got to do on the back end, and good things will happen up ice. You'll get your chances. And that's exactly what happened, as we see down on the ice the presentation of, it's not a cup, it's a plaque. I want them to have a cup in the worst way, but they won't have it. I can stick around. I'll stick around for the trophy presentation with some sideline comments. But yeah, player of the game. They're going to pick an MVP for this game, but I know that the player of the game has to be Ella Tucker, the way she has performed this afternoon, excuse me. Stopped every puck that came her way. Didn't face many shots, but some of them were very good shots, some scrambles at the net. this has just been this is a moment. You're witnessing history, folks. This is, I think, might be the first time the Crusaders have actually beaten Peabody in the Cup game in terms of women's hockey. So what an afternoon. Tanners leave the ice as the Crusaders will celebrate long into the afternoon. This is a win that the Tanners really, they need. This is a win, a loss of anything, that'll put it in perspective for them. They need to get better in all facets of the game. They need to work. They need to know that they can't just deke around everyone now, because the physical play is going to throw them off. If anything, we have the blueprint now about how to beat the Peabody Tanners if you're an opponent. Is you got to get physical with them. So the Tanners have to figure out a way to overcome that obstacle. As we take a look at them coming off the ice, it's a dejecting feeling. I've seen that team go through some tough losses, and this has to be up there in that top 5 of the toughest games they have played. So they dropped to 14-4-1. Did not score a goal today, which is so uncharacteristic of a Peabody women's hockey team. Bishop Fenwick, you know what? Tip the hat to them, folks. They did everything they had to do. They did it right. Very few, only a couple penalties that were, they were just maybe mental lapses on the part of the players. They did get away with a couple plays that I think maybe were questionable, which eventually led to the matching penalties between Sweeney and Duranian at the end of the game, which, if you go back and watch the rebroadcast of this, I called it in the second period that this was going to happen. As for the officiating, the officials let it get to that point. They did not take control of the game when they needed to, and it ended up escalating in those final seconds between Duranian and Catherine Sweeney. Two very good hockey players, yes, very physical players. The game's a physical game. I'll leave you with that, but it's just some things like that you don't want to see on the ice, and the officials are partly to blame here. So with that said, that is all from McVan O'Keefe. Take a look at the 2022 Carlin Cup champions. Charlie, we miss you. You are the father of Peabody hockey, and you forever will be. You are a name that will be forever revered in this city's hockey programs, and a name that is incredibly respected to this day. And if his family is watching, thank you so much for gifting us this beautiful game every year between the two crosstown rivals. He's always in the hearts of all Peabody hockey players, regardless of gender, everywhere, and we thank you. So I'm Bernie Parisi with Peabody TV. I would like to briefly thank our crew for putting this together. Rafael Enriquez, he's right in front of me on camera, one of the most committed camera operators I've ever met. Also, same can be said for Angela DeAngelis. Allison Morley down low doing the RoboCam, doing the wireless cam, excuse me. She was part of those incredible Bernie in the Stands sections. And then we have Steve Valenti, Don Murphy, and Aaron O'Brien out in the production van, giving you all the shots and controlling audio. Great job as always, guys. Thank you so much for putting this together. We'll see you next time, as probably around postseason play. The Tanners are playoff bound. Fenwick, we'll see where the chips fall for them. So, without further ado, Bernie Parisi, Peabody TV. It's been a pleasure putting the announcer's headset on once again. And final score from McVan O'Keefe: Bishop Fenwick 2, Peabody 0.